Look here.
Look, listen!
I could just simply say that this movie sucks. This movie is trash and end the video right here. But number one is that I can't fully monetize a very, very short video. And that, my friends, is very, very important. Yes, it is. Number two is if I make the same comment while taking a lie detector test,
Yes.
I am failing that 3 times over. I'm getting 3 Fs. Cause that statement is a lie. It's a scheme. It's a ruse. This movie, as they say nowadays, sheesh. Very good sheesh. This movie was popping. This movie was legit. Make no mistake. Make no mistake, man. This movie, I think it is the highest grossing animated film in Japanese history, and maybe globally.
Globally?
Maybe. That one, the former I believe I'm correct on. The latter I'm not too sure, because things like Lion King exist, right? But, and like Frozen too.
Let it go.
Which I've never seen actually, but it is what it is. The whole point here is, and don't start. In the comment section, don't start. Okay, you never seen, no. Let it go, no. The edgelord in me refuses to see Frozen. So, on that note, this movie has had a lot of success for a very, very damn good reason. Hey, yo, when we say that Ufotable has piggybacked, has carried Demon Slayer to the top, make no mistake, it's not like all of us were Albert Einsteins with like 900 IQ. We knew, no. It is as clear as day, as clear as crystal. People, this movie is superbly animated. So before we get to all the categories, because the movie has some things that are odd too. It's not all good. It's not all good. But the movie, man. First things first though. The last movie I saw in theaters was Sonic. Last year. And it's been a very, very long time since me and the lads went to the city to watch a movie on the big screen. And keeping it a buck, it does help. If you were to see the version that was released accidentally, I think, on the PSN store, and then watch on your computer screen, unless you have like a crazy $5,000 surround sound, 8K, HDR, whatever the hell in your basement, and you can just blast that, and you have snacks and all that stuff and lads over, I doubt that you're gonna have that same experience. So the movie experience helps this a lot. And then we had it in sub, not dub. I was actually afraid because last minute, we were like, wait, hold on. Is this sub or dub? No idea. Completely forgot. So we went in there. I was praying for a sub because, you know, I'm a weeb. So I'm praying to the anime gods. Please, I'm a weeb. Please give me a sub. Please! And we got sub. My prayers were answered. Thank you, anime gods buff. Now, the movie itself. Let's break it down to a few sections, okay? Number one, very clearly, animation. Animation was absolutely outstanding. Ufotable. A lot of folks say that Demon Slayer is actually a very average shonen. Nothing really too special in terms of the manga. And a lot of folks, when the manga ended, were saying that the ending was trash. However, because the anime and Ufotable have been so studly, have been carrying this thing with a chiseled, rock-hard back up the proverbial Mount Everest of anime and manga history, Demon Slayer has popped off like no other show. And the movie? And going forward, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of popular shows have seasons and arcs as movies. So we do know that the JJK Volume 0 is going to be its own movie. So MAPPA is taking a page out of the Ufotable playbook. And going forward, I can definitely see a lot of popular series and franchises try and do this. Like, I can see My Hero Academia doing a movie that may be an arc. Tite Kubo's Burn the Witch manga has already seen a movie adaptation of sorts, and then moving forward, as the new chapters come out, they're going to do exclusively movies for Burn the Witch. Chainsaw Man, I know a lot of folks like Chainsaw Man a lot. Maybe Chainsaw Man, when the anime comes out, there's also going to be at some point a movie for one of the arcs. It's very possible we're moving forward after seeing the success of the Demon Slayer movie, other studios and franchises are going to do this. And part of the reason why is because it's mandatory. If you want to know what's going down with the Demon Slayer series, you have to watch this movie. So it's mandatory, and that helps a lot. That helps a tremendous amount. So the animation, top notch. Very few studios, whether it's MAPPA, whether it's the joint venture that made the Jobless Reincarnation anime, very few studios can come to the quality of anime as Ufotable, and Ufotable proves that time and time again. And this movie was visually amazing. The Rengoku and Akaza stuff was absolutely outstanding. The inner world stuff with Tanjiro's inner world was beautiful. It was serene. It looked very damn good. The fight between Tanjiro and Inosuke versus Enmu was a very well animated fight, especially when they started fighting Enmu's core. This animation was studly. Tanjiro's last sword attack, when he threw his sword at Akaza as he's running away, there's so many beautiful scenes in this anime. Now, going from there, we have character stuff. This movie has strong character moments, very emotional character moments for a slew of characters, mainly for Tanjiro and Rengoku. Inosuke was also pretty good as well. The strongest character was probably Rengoku, though I say probably because Tanjiro is very good as well. Because one of the key things about the character component is the inner world stuff. Inosuke's in the world and Zeinetsu's in the world, in the dream world, they're pretty funky. Like, Zeinetsu was really funky. Inosuke, hey yo, he was right, he called it. He did call it. The train, in fact, was a monster. Inosuke, best boy. This is factual. Even though I'm the king of lightning and I love lightning-based stuff, Zeinetsu has a long way to go in order to be best boy. But the inner world stuff with Zeinetsu and Inosuke, which is more comic relief oriented, and then compare that to Rengoku and Tanjiro, where you see how their inner souls exemplify who they are as individuals. And Rengoku, you can see, is a raging inferno. And yo, real quick, hey yo, when Rengoku had that one broad choked out for 40 minutes, I'm like, that was not even low key. That was probably the best scene in the entire movie. I'm not trolling you. At least top 2, maybe top 3. That instincts. It reminds me of the old scene with Ichigo and Hollow Ichigo. Like, what separates a king and his horse? Hono. Instincts. And this man's instincts pulled a Wayne Brady for 40 minutes.
5 minutes later.
To be fair, she was studly too, because she survived getting a chokehold for 40 minutes. But Rengoku, yo, that was great. Cause fuck that broad, and Rengoku, love you. Love this man. I'm sweating just thinking about it. My God. Woo! Okay. So, Rengoku, best character in this movie, especially when you add in the choking for 40 minutes. And then Tanjiro, number 2. But Tanjiro is excellent. Make no mistake. I think that Tanjiro's speech to Akaza, when Akaza's running away, was outstanding. It's probably the most emotional part of the movie by far. Despite the Rengoku flashback, despite his final moments of seeing his mother, like, Rengoku went out like a solid lad. Like, you want to give him a mega salute, like a John Cena salute. John Cena! I don't like John Cena, but Rengoku deserves that John Cena salute without a doubt. At least as a wrestler. Let me put it that way. As a wrestler, I wasn't a big fan because, for the kids, but
that is blasphemous.
It's not important. Rengoku was phenomenal. Rengoku was awesome. He was dope through and through. But Tanjiro, Because of that speech, I'm pretty sure a lot of people at least teared up, probably even crying at that particular moment when he just had that 2-minute rant, that 2-minute speech to Akaza as he's running away from the sun. And that speech, I think if he hasn't already, Hanae and Natsuki better win an award. He has to win an award for that speech. That speech was powerful. That speech was powerful. Rengoku didn't lose. You get back here. Don't start dissing humans. Don't start dissing Mugen as you're running away into the woods. Hide from the sun. Rengoku is stronger than you. Like, that speech was powerful. When you have Rengoku listening to that as he has a hole in his stomach. When Inosuke standing there crying. That was a very powerful moment. So again, character-wise, this movie had some pretty strong stuff for Rengoku, for Tanjiro, mainly those two. Seeing Tanjiro have the willpower to run away from his family despite the dream before him, because that's what he wanted. Killing himself time and time again. The level of willpower that Tanjiro had to actually do that. And Inosuke was pretty good as well. Nezuko wasn't really a big focus of the movie, but that's fine. And Zenitsu was dope when he started doing crazy stuff. Though to be fair, I have to wonder, if this whole thing is predicated on a dream world, why isn't Zenitsu broken? Like, why isn't Zenitsu a Super Saiyan God amongst Super Saiyan 2 and just coasting everybody? Zenitsu should have been blitzing Minato Namikaze style. Running around killing everything. And no one could stop him. Alright? That's how he should have been in the movie. Keep it in the buck. But when he did pull out that sword and started thunderclapping fleshy things, that was excellent. However, the villains, character-wise, Enmu of the Lower Moons, number 1 of the Lower Moons. I mean, Enmu was alright, I suppose. I guess his big character moment was when he's dying and he's reviewing how he completely failed Muzan's expectations, how he wanted to at least have taken one human being, but he couldn't because of Rengoku and Zenitsu and Nezuko. He couldn't take a single human being into his weird fleshy train thing. He was mulling over various things before he faded into non-existence. Enmu was whatever. Enmu was very, very whatever. And then Akaza, I mean, like, oh my god, Rengoku, Rengoku, man, you're so awesome, dude. Like, please become a demon. Fight with me for all eternity. Let's train together, man. Ningen suck. Become one of us, man. Yeah. Okay. I mean, he was very adamant about turning Rengoku, though it seemed very childlike, very straightforward, no real depth to it. Just become one of us because I like you, you're a dope fighter. And it would suck to see your capabilities go to waste, and so on and so forth. So Akaza as a villain, in terms of character, as well as Enmu, they weren't really all that. And I guess you can say from a symbolic standpoint, since Enmu's abilities were centered around dreams, and then he wound up falling so short of his own expectations, he himself was dreaming. Like, that whole thing was an impossibility from the jump. You can maybe argue that it was metaphorical, but yeah, whatever. To me, Enmu and Akaza, they're whatever. Now, real quick, things like world building in this movie were like non-existent, but it didn't really matter because the whole thing is focused on the Hell Train. Though we do get, from a world building standpoint, we do see how someone like a Hashira, like Rengoku, would stack up to someone like an Upper Moon with Akaza, and Akaza was just better. Of course, the main thing here was he had a demon body, he could regenerate and so on, but Akaza ultimately gets the W in the long run. So if the Upper Moons are this strong, Upper Moon 3 are this strong, there's 2 other Upper Moons that are stronger than Akaza, and then you have Muzan himself. Ah, man. So from the world building perspective, you do have that. I say Muzan as he, but he can transform into a she, and I don't know if the she or the he is the original Muzan or not, and I didn't take any transgender oriented language class stuff when I was in college, so I'm just call Muzan, and move on from there. I don't know. I don't know. It gets too complicated.
Why does everything have to be so complicated?
That being said, you do have a little bit of world building from that standpoint. You do. But the main thing for this movie is character and animation, which was outstanding. And then real quick, the next thing was pacing. And pacing, it was very well paced. With the dream sequences, we do spend a lot more time, obviously, in the dream of Tanjiro, rather than Inosuke and Zenitsu. Nice transitions between the dream world and then the real time when Nezuko's running around and her impact in the dream states. And then when you have all the lads come out of the dream state, and then the fight against Enmu, and then go from there when you have Akaza come into the fray. The movie was well paced through and through. You can argue at times masterfully, especially with the Rengoku versus Akaza fight. That was dope. That fight was well paced, well choreographed. Woo! Make no mistake. From the jump when Akaza tries to attack Tanjiro, and then Rengoku shuts that down. From the techniques that we see Akaza do when he starts doing the long range punches, and then Rengoku counters in suit. It was very clear that these guys were on equal footing, if not Rengoku was a bit stronger, but because of the demon factor, that gave Akaza the edge until the sun was about to come up. So it was a very well choreographed, a very well paced fight through and through. Probably one of the, this is going to be a little bit hard pressed, but I'm going to say this. For the time being, because of recency bias, it's one of the best fights I've probably seen in an anime movie. I'll put it like that, okay? All right. But the movie does have some faults. And for me, there's mainly two things. Number one was when Enmu becomes the train. That was kind of dumb. That was kind of weird. Even though it looked pretty good from an animation standpoint in terms of how fluid and how detailed the animation was, it was a very odd thing for the guy to fuse with the train. Especially when you see Emu's face on one weird fleshy butt as it's talking to Tanjiro. That was so weird. That was so weird, and it kind of threw me off. I ain't gonna front, it did. And then the next thing that was very, very strange, I thought, was Akaza. Where did he come from? You see, pacing-wise, everything for the most part was clean, but Akaza coming into the movie the way he did was very random. I feel like and you guys tell me in the comment section down below, I feel like in the manga, they would have a scene of Muzan talking to the Upper Moons, saying, I don't necessarily trust Enmu that much to carry this mission, so when you guys go and check up. And then Akaza says, okay, I'll go. Like, that's what I feel like we'll get in the manga. If not, then in a general sense, Akaza coming in there is just random. Very random, came out of nowhere, left field. And there was no sort of build up towards that at all. So even though Akaza and Rengoku and Tanjiro and Inosuke, that's the best part of the movie, how it all starts off is just very random. And there is no framework at all as to how he got here. It just happens. He's here, boom. So, and I would feel like because he's one of the Upper Moon 3, he would need permission from Muzan. If he lets it do himself, maybe that was his own whim, but something this big maybe would require Muzan's approval. So like these are things that I want insight on when he came to the fray. Absolutely. But it didn't happen. In a general sense, this movie is an outstanding movie. I can see why this movie was so successful. And various people, definitely the voice actor of Tanjiro, Natsuki, need awards. This movie probably already got a bunch of awards. And as we move forward, I think we're going to see a lot more series do this when it comes to arcs and seasons being condensed, extremely high quality movies. Though to be fair, as a Western fan of anime, it's going to be very, very aggravating to have these things come out in Japanese theater, and then a year plus later, we get to watch it where we are. That's gonna be very rough to deal with moving forward. Though hopefully, when these things are more prevalent, they start to make them more readily accessible in foreign theaters. Hopefully. Because I don't have to wait this long. I don't have to wait this long to see it. Damn. Either way, though, this movie rating, 8 out of 10. This is a great movie, without a doubt. Let me know your stance on the subject matter at hand for this movie, I'm gonna see y'all later. You guys and gals, take care. Stay safe. Have a nice one.